A couple of weeks ago, I did a video explaining 7.0's messy gearing system, and thousands of you watched it. So this week, let's talk about another SWTOR favorite topic, Galactic Starfighter. With this latest expansion, grinding the GSF weekly 3 times per week per character results in not only 3,000 tech frags per character that you need to buy set bonuses and tacticals, but also making it very easy to gear up to 326 purple. Winning a GSF match counts for 2 as far as the weekly is concerned, so while getting good at GSF might not seem like something you'd want to do, if you can at least not be a detriment to your team, you could win more often and get the GSF grind over faster each week. Now, I'm by no means an ace pilot, and I do way more than my fair share of dying while grinding out my GSF weeklies. But there are a few tips that I picked up along the way that could help you turn the tide in your favor and get more of those coveted wins. Tip number 5 is turn your audio on and YouTube videos, music, or movies off. GSF actually gives you a lot of audio cues to let you know when you've been target locked or when someone has fired a missile at you. And if you're like me and listening to various YouTube videos while you play, you won't hear the target lock sound and you won't know to take evasive maneuvers. Obviously, dying in team deathmatch is really bad, but it's also bad in control point matches as you spend more time flying back to the nodes rather than taking or defending them. Turn that audio on and live just a little bit longer. Tip number 4, you can actually adjust the GSF HUD. It's in the interface editor. Most people don't realize this, but there's this little drop-down menu right here, and one of the options here is Starfighter. In here, you can move around the minimap, the score tracker, and several other elements around to suit your needs. For me, the minimap default location was actually under my chat, making it very difficult to keep up with who was where. And that leads me directly into tip number 3. When I first started playing GSF, I would boost out to the enemy and try to take them on directly. But pretty soon I started to notice that I was the first one to die in pretty much every match. I was actually leaving my team in the dust and trying to take on 4 or 5 enemies by myself. Don't do that. The best practice is to hang out near your teammates. Watch that minimap like a hawk. Don't pursue enemies too far away from your teammates, and if you have a bogey hot on your tail, try to drag them back to your teammates. The minimap is key to success in GSF. Tip number 2, tab targeting is still a thing even in GSF. And yes, tab targeting never giving you the enemy you want, that's still a thing too. Luckily for GSF, there's a pretty simple fix. If you open up your preferences, there's this handy tab here that is just for GSF keybinds, and under the targeting section, you'll see this one labeled target under cursor. You can either just start using the default E key to target whatever it is you're looking at instead of the closest thing to you, or you can do as I did and change that one to tab since I almost always want it to give me the target I can see. Once you have something targeted, you get the little reticle telling you where to shoot your lasers, and it also allows you to lock on missiles. Tip number 1 is QQQ. I've noticed over the last few weeks that once GSF gets going, the queues pop almost instantly right after every battle. Oftentimes you end up in the same matches with the same people. If you take 45 seconds or a couple minutes to buy ship upgrades, open loot boxes, adjust your crew, or whatever, you'll miss the pop and have to wait for a whole match to complete before getting back in. Before I start queuing to grind out all my weeklies on one character, I spin whatever ship requisition I have, upgrade my chosen ship, make sure I've upgraded components, picked out my crew, everything. Once I start, as soon as every match ends, I immediately requeue, and I find I can clear out weekly quests very fast this way. And that's all I've got. Now, I know this isn't going to make you guys rule the skies. As I said earlier, I'm not an ace pilot. Hopefully, these tips will help you get through those weeklies faster and earn more wins along the way and grind out those glorious tech frags.